We're going to spend a little time with Fazria this morning, and she's joining us from the Kazakhstan Association for the Conservation of Biodiversity. So we had a little bit of a chat yesterday as we did a little bit of a test call, and I'm really excited to bring Fazria in here with us now. Hello, how are you doing today? Oh, I think you're still on mute.
Sorry.
No, don't worry about it.
Hi, everything's fine, and you?
All right, good. It's great to see you again, especially on World Ranger Day. And you know, one of the things that I'm just having so much fun with today is connecting with so many groups around the world, and to have an opportunity to connect live with you in Kazakhstan and learn about the Rangers. It's really an exciting part of our event.
Yes, thank you for having me. It's and having our Rangers, even though they cannot be tuned right now. But anyways, we are very happy to share our story.
Excellent. Well, I think the best place to start is let's get to know you a little better. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and the role you're currently playing?
Yes, so my name is Fariza Dilbekova. I represent Association for the Conservation of Biodiversity of Kazakhstan. I am currently a national coordinator of the Altandala Conservation Initiative, which is a large-scale conservation initiative for the conservation of steppe ecosystems, steppe and semi-desert ecosystems, and its flagship species are saiga antelopes, which is critically endangered. Also species like Asiatic wild asses, different birds, like generally the whole steppe ecosystem. So here also we will be talking about our ecological park, which is called Altasai. And yeah, happy to share about the work of our amazing rangers who are very dedicated to their work.
Absolutely, no question. And you know, I just want to touch a little bit more on the steppe ecosystem. Can you, for those who may not have heard of that ecosystem, can you tell us a little bit more about what makes that ecosystem unique?
So from the first sight, sometimes steppe ecosystems might seem to be boring because it's completely empty, vast areas of full of biodiversity. They are usually represented by floods, by small mountains. There are no basically trees, and most of all, you can see different type of grass. So if we translate it directly, like from the Kazakh word dala, so it means grasslands. Although it might seem to be boring from the first sight, when you are in there, you start noticing so much wildlife, different big mammals, as I have mentioned before, like saiga, Asiatic wild asses, also some wolves, foxes, as well as different birds that are globally threatened, vulnerable, endangered, and they are listed in the IUCN Red List and also in the Kazakh National Red Book, like the vultures, bustards, etc. So, yeah.
That was a great description. Thank you so much. What an interesting ecosystem. You know, I'd like to dive a little bit into the Rangers now and how your organization interacts and works with the Rangers. So where does that connection come in between your organization and the Rangers?
So we have the story starts with the saiga antelope, which is currently one of the critically endangered species, and basically it experienced significant decrease once upon a time there were just millions of them roaming steppes of Kazakhstan, and after the collapse of Soviet Union, they were unsustainably hunted because of their horns that are quite popular in traditional Chinese medicine and in Southeast Asia. And therefore, their number decreased and reached almost only 20,000 individuals in Kazakhstan. And it was a critical situation, but then the Kazakh government started working on the restoration of the species and putting a lot of efforts for its conservation. And as the result, currently we have over 800,000 individuals. Generally, just to give a background, Kazakhstan is one of the biggest countries in the world. There are just millions of hectares, and unfortunately, it's not possible to cover the whole territories. And we have we have great organizations like Prom and also state rangers who ensure protection on the ground of the species from the poachers, because the poaching is quite a big deal still. And poachers in Kazakhstan, they are very aggressive. And due to this fact, we back in 2009, we have established Altai Ecological Park, which located between two big protected areas of Kazakhstan, which is called Altandala and Irgis-Turgay. Altandala's size is around 500,000 hectares, while Irgis-Turgay is over 1 million hectares. And somewhere in between, our ecological park serves as an ecological corridor that ensures safe migration for saiga. I forgot to mention that saiga is a migratory species that travels like 1,000 kilometers around the year. And during the migration period, it's especially important to ensure their safety. So our rangers serve at the in this area of 340,000 hectares, and their work is extremely important in terms of conducting monitoring, ensuring protection, working with local communities, conducting some events at the schools, helping them to understand why these ecosystems are so valuable. And in general, yeah, probably that's it.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, I think that's so important. Having that protected space, having that corridor, to allow that species to have that natural migration to move over those long distances. Is the area, complete right now, or are you still working to try and increase the size of that corridor?
The size of corridor is pretty much fixed. Basically, one of the things I forgot to mention also that at first these territories were established, like formally these territories are counted as hunting areas, because in Kazakhstan we do not have legal status of ecological park, unfortunately, and also it's not possible to acquire lands as it happens in other countries around the world. So therefore, we rented these territories as hunting areas, but we never hunted there. So we protect these territories, we monitor them, monitor wildlife, etc., and ensure protection on the ground. So this is about the size of territories.
Okay. And then, with the rangers that you're working with protecting this area, what are some of the challenges that they do face, and how do you try to help them with those challenges?
Yeah, so there are so many challenges when it comes like the size of first of all the size of territories. So basically there are 12 people who work at this ecological park as rangers, including the head of the rangers and including our wildlife manager, and all these people try to they drive around the territories, etc. So as I have mentioned, the territory is quite big, and the second part is about extreme temperatures. So Kazakhstan is a landlocked country, and we have very continental climates. That means that our summers are extremely hot. It sometimes reaches around plus 40 degrees, while winters are extremely cold, which is like around minus 40 degrees of Celsius. So they have to adapt to these kind of temperatures, and they work even though it can be very cold and frosty, and during the summer times they experience wildfires, and they put lots of effort in order to extinguish them, which is also extremely difficult and dangerous. They also each group consists of 3 people, and there are 3 groups of rangers. So in order to ensure better safety and protection, they also conduct joint patrols with government rangers, as rangers of Ahotaprom that I have mentioned earlier, and environmental police. So in case they meet poachers, they will be able to stop them, and also to be safe in cases of conflict, because basically with poachers, back in 2019, there were 2 or 3 cases when the government rangers died while they were trying to catch poachers. And in one case, they were beaten to death, and in the second case, they were shot from the gun when the government rangers were trying to catch these poachers with saiga horns and saiga carcasses. And in the third case, the ranger died because of the car crash while he was attempting to catch these rangers. So unfortunately, there are so many tragic stories, and for us, safety and well-being of our rangers is a priority. And also, we see our role as to support and contribute for the saiga protection on the ground, even though we are rather small NGO, and as I have mentioned, we have only 12 people in the field, but still it is quite important. So probably there are other challenges in terms of, so it's completely wild areas. There is no roads, of course. There is no mobile connection. So the closest village is around 50 or 60 kilometers away. But in this village, basically, there is no even mobile communication. Of course, all this creates lots of challenges, because if their car is broken, etc., they have to repair it by themselves in the middle of steppe. Of course, they do have satellite phones, etc., but at the same time, it's still difficult to work in these kind of conditions. And also we aim to hire as much as possible of local people from local communities, because they know territories quite well, because the steppe landscape, it's extremely difficult to navigate because, as I have mentioned before, there is no trees, there is no like any obvious signs that you can be oriented with. So when I'm in the field, I'm so much amazed to see how our rangers are able to drive through these areas and find everything, and they basically can see a rock and tell that like after 1 kilometer you should turn right, while for me it's impossible to know these kind of things.
Thank you so much for giving that really great description of the challenges faced. And it's a reality that it is a dangerous job, and rangers take a risk every time they go out into the field. And some of them do, make that big sacrifice, believing so much in what they do and knowing those risks. So, that's what today is all about, is raising that recognition for rangers and sharing those stories. Even if they are hard to share sometimes.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, so I think I've got a video here that you guys put together so we can meet a few of the rangers. So I'm going to put that on right now, and then that'll pretty much take us to the end of our session. But I think it'll be great to meet some of those rangers.
Yes.
All right, just bear with me for one moment, and here we go.
Меня зовут Тимошенко Алексей Юрьевич. Я работаю в данный момент в Казахстанской ассоциации сохранения биоразнообразия на позиции директора экологического парка Алтысай. Непосредственные мои задачи, которые выполняет руководство, все текущие работы, которые происходят на территории, это планирование работы егерского состава, который находится у меня в подчинении, их работы по мониторингу, по патрулированию территории, биотехнических мероприятий, содействие природоохранным структурам нашего региона. Организованы были в 2009 году как два охотничьих хозяйства – Алтыбай и Сага. Охотничье хозяйство находится на самом юге Костанайской области, на стыке Актюбинской, Карагандинской, Костанайских областей. Этот регион известен как миграционные пути сайги. Наша территория экопарка находится между двумя государственными ОПТ, образует такой переход, безопасный переход для миграции животных между Алтын-Далой резерватом, что на севере находится, и на юге граничит наша территория с Аргиз-Тургайским резерватом. Ежегодно мы ведем мониторинг животного мира. На нашей территории более 240 видов птиц зарегистрировано на сегодняшний день. Около 40 видов млекопитающих, среди которых самые крупными такие мониторинговые виды — это, естественно, сайгак, кабан, сибирская косуля, волк, лисица. Среди птиц большой комплекс у нас представлен хищными птицами, которые занесены в Красную книгу международную и Республики Казахстан. Это орел-могильник, степной орел, беркут, орлан-белохвост, филин, степной лунь, балобан. То есть большой комплекс редких видов. Общая территория двух охотничьих хозяйств составляет 340
Looks like the video has frozen on us, so I'm going to try and take the video out and put it back in and see if it'll go for us. So just give me one moment here. I'm going to take it out and we'll put it back in and see if, I don't know why it would have froze on us, but let's put it back in here. See if we can't pick up where we had left off. Okay, there it is. Okay.
Меня зовут Тимошенко Алексей Юрьевич. Сопротивление законным действиям представителей инспекторов охотзоопрома. Один из случаев был, по-моему, в Карагандинской области, недалеко от территории Кугальджинского заповедника, когда были избиты два инспектора охотзоопрома. Далее один из них позже скончался. И в Акмолинской области я тоже на памяти моей случай, когда также открыли огонь из преследуемой машины, тем самым смертельно ранив одного из инспекторов. Это довольно-таки рискованная, очень опасная работа. И поэтому при создании этой группы мы учли вот этот опыт, что одной машиной очень опасно передвигаться, в общем-то, и плюс к этому были серьезно пересмотрены у нас вооружение, так сказать, техническое вооружение и меры безопасности для каждой группы были приняты. Мы приобрели бронежилеты, индивидуальные видеорегистраторы. Видеорегистраторы на каждом патрульном автомашине у нас находятся. У нас 2 единицы служебного оружия марки карабин Сайга гладкоствольная, которая используется активно при патрулировании. В 2019 году совместная была у нас работа с охотзоопромом, когда на территории мы сделали засаду, так как имелась уже оперативная информация о том, что 2 машины заехали на соседнюю территорию, и мы решили таким образом их подкараулить. И в общем-то, нам удалось это, они нас не заметили, поехали именно той дорогой примерно, где мы находились. И тут началось как раз-таки все самое, так сказать, интересное и жаркое. Началась погоня, многочасовая погоня. Мы покрыли более 75 километров. К сожалению, нам не удалось догнать. Очень рьяно уходили браконьеры от нас. В общем-то, выпроводили их с территории. После мы стали распутывать следы, где эти машины ездили, на какой территории. После этого мы обнаружили трупы самцов сайги с варварски отпиленными рогами. Последствия там однозначно были бы, если бы это все было доказуемо сразу на месте, и они были пойманы с поличным, у них в наличии было бы там орудие преступления, оружие, пилы и так далее, сами дериваты, то, конечно, это очень серьезное наказание будет, там от 3 лет и выше лишения свободы. Ну и, конечно, сулит это все огромными штрафами. То есть это такое налаженное дело. То есть здесь одними мерами, там, допустим, которые где-то локально, да, работают, ты успешно работаешь на своей территории, там, да, не доводишь до браконьерства там, и так далее. Но это капля в море на самом деле. Тут необходимо принимать полномасштабные меры.
Егерская служба заключается в том, что мы проводим охрану и мониторинг животного мира, а также биотехнические мероприятия. Работаем с местными школами, оказываем содействие инспекторам охотзоопрома. Примерно так вот и проходит наш рабочий день.
К сожалению, нам приходится сталкиваться со сложностями в работе, так как в зимнее время У нас очень плохие дороги, очень большой сильный снежный покров. Также приходится ремонтировать автотранспорт в полевых условиях и небольшие мелкие бытовые ситуации. Ну, несмотря на это, мы справляемся со своей поставленной задачей на 100%.
Мен жұмыс істеп жүрген кезімізде талай әртүрлі жағдайлар болды. Браконьерлермен кездестік, талай қиын кезеңдер өтті. 2020 жылдың 16 шілдесінде охотзоопром инспекторларымен бірлесе іс-шара жүргізу барысында браконьер ұсталды. Және оған 2 миллион 800 айыппұл салынды. 3,5 жыл условка қойылды. Және қазіргі таңда ол жігіт түсінген барлығын, ешқандай браконьерлікпен айналыспайды.
Менің осы жұмысқа келу себебім осы айсбекқа құрылғалы менің әкем жұмыс жасаған қорықшы болып. Сол бала кезден қызығушылығым оянып, осы қазіргі таңда айсбекада қорықшы болып, әкемнің жолын болып жұмыс жасап келем.
Казахстан несет огромную ответственность за сайгака на сегодняшний день, потому как ни в Российской Федерации, ни в Монголии такого количества этой антилопы не осталось. С 90-х годов там, до 2009 года, да, я не видел сайгак. Хотя мне мои родители говорили, да, что вот здесь, вот, где мы живем, здесь приходили тысячные стада, прям заходили в населенный пункт, они вот здесь вот воду пили вот на этом котловане, вот сюда они ходили, вот сюда они ходили. Ну, мы просто, сайгаки, да, ну, не видел. Вот сейчас мы живые свидетели, да, того, как сайгак возрождается. Эта польза, которую мы приносим, она ведь не только для нас конкретно, она для подрастающего поколения. Я такой же гражданин своей страны и хочу то, что я сейчас лицезрею, да, я вижу эти многотысячные стада сайгаков, да, как бы это пафосно и красиво не звучало, но я хотел бы с такой же уверенностью сказать, что и мои дети смогут увидеть эту красоту. Действительно, сайгак — это украшение наших степей. Это вопрос того, что достанется ли что-то нашему будущему. Будем мы это либо просто вспоминать в рассказах, да, наших родителей, дедушек, или наши же дети передадут своим детям потом эту информацию, что они видели это здесь воочию, они это наблюдали.
All right. Well, Fariza, what a great video. It was so great to meet so many different rangers and hear a little bit about what inspires them, why they do what they do, and really that message of wanting, you know, their children, that next generation, to see this important wildlife. So, Fariza, thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you so much for representing your organization. I want to share the link here for anybody who would like to dig a little bit deeper, learn a little bit more. And of course, you know, if possible, to support this great work in Kazakhstan, support these rangers who are out every day protecting this ecosystem. And what a great reserve, this corridor, giving that migration route for those beautiful, beautiful animals. So Fariza, thank you so much for being with us today. Oh, I think you're on mute.
This is the problem that always happens, like with all the meetings and videos.
After all the meetings, we catch on, but the mute button will get the best of you. It'll get anybody.
Okay, I just wanted to also thank you and the whole team for this great opportunity to tell our story. And it's a great initiative, and I wish you, and we wish you all the best from Kazakhstan. Again,
Thank you so much. Thank you for joining us. And yeah, we look forward to continuing your story. And I have no doubt we'll cross paths and host each other again. Thank you so much, Fariza.
Bye.
See ya. Thank you.